Welcome to Homebrew Magic, a video series about EDH where we do our best to build unique, fun, or just plain silly deck lists to play against each other, followed by a breakdown of how they did so we can all learn and get better at this game that we love. I already forgot what I built. Hello and welcome! I don't know what this is. I built Migloz, the Maze Crusher. 4/4 for XCMB. I'm very confused as well.
That's from All Will Be One, right?
Yep. This is from All Will Be One. I built this deck out of a lot of anger for you guys. Just be aware. Swallow before I talk.
That's what I tell her all
He
the
is
time.
a 4... I don't even have a name for this deck other than just angry Schnell noises. It is a 4/4 for 3 for Exium Beast. He ETBs with 5 oil counters on it. I can pay 1 and remove 1 oil counter and he gains Vigilance and Menace. I can pay 2 and remove 2 oil counters and it gets +2/+2. Or I can pay 3 and remove 3 oil counters to destroy target artifact or enchantment.
There you go.
So he is a
anti-Nelson tech right there.
Yeah, modular choice. Every time he comes in, he does stuff. It's a red-green deck with a lot of anger issues. Tej, what'd you build? I should have cut to my actual... up close, see? He's weird. We like him.
These fancy arts are so confusing because it also looks like he's a red-black.
Yeah.
But he's red-green.
I thought it was red-blue.
I thought it was red-black.
What up, hi, man? It's your boy Tej.
Woo!
Tonight, I am bringing back Piru the Volatile.
Pew, pew, pew.
Piru got some updates recently. A couple cards from Murders at Karloff Manor, plus some other things. So, not a new deck, but new toys. And I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Someday I will remember that set is Murders at Karloff Manor and not Murders at Markov Manor, because in my brain it's Markov Manor.
Yeah.
I brought Falco Spara, Pact Weaver.
That's a solid one.
I pulled about a dozen cards out of this deck in an attempt to tweak it a little bit. And then I put a dozen more cards in to keep it legal.
I streamlined it.
Where every card is a different border or something?
No, that's Toulouse Clever Conductor.
Okay.
You had that out before.
Yeah,
you were thinking about
I
it.
couldn't decide which one to play, but we went this one. That one only got 1 new card. This got like 12. Nelson, what are you running tonight?
I will be going first, and I brought back Shelob Dreadweaver because I think I played it in Totem last, and it's way more fun in a regular full pod. So Shelob wants shit to die, so she can steal it and then cast it as mine own, or eat it and get benefits. Untap, upkeep, draw. Cabal, Stronghold, go Schnell.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw. Oh, we're in the money.
Shit.
Stomping Ground, ETB tapped because I don't need to lose life now. We just started.
It's the best time to lose life.
I suppose. Teeth, what you got?
I've got a Blood Crypt, which will also protect.
Coward.
Anybody else need a bullet?
Yeah, grab me one.
All right.
Oh, by the way, I'm starting with 6 cards. I mulliganed in.
Hallowed Fountain. I'm going to play it untapped.
Oh,
Big brain move!
got a winner.
38.
Pass.
Fuck you, Schnell.
Brainstone.
Nice.
Hey, there you go.
Pestern.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Lord of the Rings Swamp, go Schnell.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw. Beedly-doo.
Beedly fucking
The
do.
Monumental Facade. ETB. Chris, can I steal some dice from your pile of dice over there? Like 5 or 6.
Not comfortable with you needing that
You're
number of
such a
dice.
good friend that I'm thankful for you giving me stuff.
Then you're going to pop my brainstorm.
I'm going to pop your brainstorm, but not yet. I'm going to Manamorphose first. I'm going to give myself a red and a green mana, and then I'm going to draw a card, and with that red and a green mana, I'm going to return to nature, destroy target artifact, your brainstorm.
Metamorphose is
Brainstorm.
neat.
It's so...
Because fuck you guys, and all your goddamn artifacts and enchantments. Angry noises.
Well, I'm real scared for what's in my hand.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ain't going to last.
Putting it up on the 1 drops before I start playing the 5 drops.
You know my commander just also pops stuff too.
Can you flicker in red and green?
Well, I have a shitload of Proliferate in this deck.
There you go.
This
play a
land
Fowler
puts
Stone.
oil counters on target artifact
Chris.
creature I control.
Demolition field, you say?
Verstein.
Forest. 2 mana. Incubation Druid. 0/2 taps for 1 mana of any color
gonna
that
kill it?
land I...
No.
And if it has a 1/1 counter on it,
Creatures are fine. I
taps
can
for
fight
3.
with creatures.
Liquid Metal
Pestilence.
Torque.
Untap, upkeep,
Target
draw.
Druid.
All right.
Should have put a liquid metal.
Swamp
in
is a
this.
land for turn. I'm probably going to fucking kick myself in the dick for this, but I'm going to play 3. I'm going to cast Extra Planar Lens, exiling a swamp.
Ooh.
Now I'm behind land when Shelob blows it up. So.
You'll get 2 turns because next turn I can cast him and then I
There we
can,
go.
unless I get something
Where is
else.
that one from?
That's the Commander Masters Ultimate Fancy.
Commander
whatever.
Legends.
Next fancy.
Commander
Yeah.
Legends.
Cummel.
No, Commander
Commander
Masters.
Masters?
Yeah, this is Masters. Yeah, go Snow.
Back. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Land for the turn. Mountain. Green. Red. Other. Migloz. Maze Crusher. Because when you can't find your way up, you just fucking break everything. That will be it for me. Go ahead, Teach.
One tap. Draw. Land for turn will be a plains.
Don't shake your head.
I just know what's coming.
Do you?
It hurts already.
Do you know how angry I was when I was pulling cards for this list?
Why did we make you so mad today?
I'm gonna play Boris Reckoner. 3/3 Minotaur Wizard. Whenever it is dealt damage, deals that much damage to target creature or player, and I can pay a red or white to give it first strike until end of turn. Last turn.
Alright, untap. Draw. Glacial Fortress will be my land for the turn. It enters untapped because I control plains or island.
Now you're just showing off.
You should get him.
I might.
Grateful Apparition. Soothsaying. Swarm Shambler.
Jesus. That's a turn.
Best turn.
Oofta doofta. Alright,
I
untap.
Soothsaying once. I don't remember why, but I remember.
Upkeep.
So now all
and
your
draw.
swamps count or cast or tap for 2?
Yeah, swamps tap for 2. Mine swamps.
Mine own.
Mine own swamps. So I'm going to tap 2 swamps for 4 manners. And I'm going to play Grave Pact. Go Schnell.
Whenever a creature you control.
I control dies. Each other player sacrifices a creature.
Untap.
It's a
Upkeep.
fancy enchantment.
Draw.
So Wilds of Eldraine fancy sheet or whatever.
Fancy enchantment sheet.
Yeah.
Land for the turn. Mountain. I don't have to activate these as sorcery, so I can pop whenever I.
This reprinting drove this card down from like $30 to 8. It was awesome.
Go ahead, Teach. I'm just gonna angrily wait.
Parallel Lives got real cheap for a while too, but then it shot up.
I'm gonna
Not too long ago.
patiently angry.
I'm gonna
Angrily patient.
stew in my hatred.
Because I think other than that bonus sheet from Wilds of Eldraine, Parallel
Battlefield
Lives is only
Forge.
printed in Innistrad.
Parallel Lives?
Yeah.
It has a few printings now.
Does it?
Why are you looking at my shit?
I'm looking at everyone's shit. I'm afraid to play stuff. I'm afraid to play stuff because of you. I'm afraid to play creatures because of you.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you doing?
Welcome to hell, kid.
Not much.
You have more stuff than I do, I'm afraid.
Did you just have to make up a reason to be afraid of me?
He's a scared.
Are there counters on this?
That's just like, oh yes, I won 1 counter.
Okay. Honestly,
Play more targets. Dilute the field so that I'm afraid to target anything with my limited oil.
I'm gonna pass.
We gotta give him information overload here, guys. We gotta break his brain before he breaks our board states.
Shuffle turn. Sky Cloud Expanse.
Soothsaying lets you stack your deck, right?
I pay X, look at the top X, put them back in any order, and for 5 I can shuffle.
Yes. And it's foily. I have one of those in my fucking morph deck with King Ghidorah, but I haven't run that deck forever.
Hit 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll cast my commander. Falco Spara enters the battlefield with a shield counter. Here, thought you looked like a halo. We'll go with that. I may look at the top card of my library anytime. Now's anytime. You may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control in addition to paying their other costs. I will move to combat. You've made it hard for me to brainstorm.
I'll make it fucking worse for you.
He's gonna make 21 tokens if I attack him.
Shit, I've seen this movie before.
Alright. He's scared me into shunting my aggression this way. Teach, 2 in the air. 1 in the air.
Yeah.
1 in the air.
Alright.
I will...
2 if you want.
I will proliferate. I now have 2 of these shield tokens. Shield counters.
Shields up.
Oh boy. I will pass turn.
Alright. Untap, upkeep, draw.
I like that I can just trade on the threat of red-green.
It doesn't always
power.
work.
I know.
Swamp.
Recent experience has told me maybe sometimes threats are valid.
As my land for the turn. I'm gonna tap 3 swamps for 6 and a
Scared
Cabal
for my
Stronghold
soothsaying.
for
He's
7.
ramping like a motherfucker.
And I'm gonna cast Shard of the Void Dragon. Shard of the Void Dragon. It's a 7/7 flyer. Spear of the Void Dragon. Whenever it attacks, each opponent sacks a non-land permanent. Matter Absorption. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile from the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Shard of the Void Dragon.
Probably should not have let him have that.
Go Schnell.
Before the end of your turn,
Yeah.
I will remove 3 oil counters and pop your Grave Pact.
All right.
I did that for us, friends.
Thank you.
Uh,
I will not attack you with Boros Reckoner for a round.
untap, upkeep, draw. Excellent. That's excellent. Excellent enough. We're gonna pass to Teach. We're gonna be tricksy with this game. I built red-green.
Look at this fucking guy over
I built
here.
red-green control, guys. I did it. I built the anti-Schnell deck.
I like it.
Sounds like something Chris would do. Red-green control deck.
I don't like this.
Well, then do something.
I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Why are you hiding an artifact in your last team? What's going on over there?
I'm actually intentionally putting it out.
I know.
Check tapes.
I'm messing with you.
I do that. I tend to do that anyway. I think.
Yeah,
I do that when I tap him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually started doing it, watching you do it.
Cards in hand.
2.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
To wheel away the cards I want in my hand, aren't I?
I don't like this one. 5 mana enchantment. I probably shouldn't play at this game anyway.
I am going. Oh wait, I forgot I had to put mana into this.
That is
How
how
many cards do you have? in your
the
deck?
core mechanic of the game.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Didn't you yell at Nelson for something similar last game?
Maybe.
Just to keep the confusion, I'm gonna float a colorless and then not pay any mana for my next spell.
Tapping's
Oh,
confusing. We're streamlining. Mental magic.
I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cast Mimikvat.
Oh, Mimic Vat. I was like, what the
okay.
fuck did you just say?
It's,
My brain heard like Micmat, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Mimic Vat.
With that, I'm going to pass the turn, but I'm going to activate this Esper Panorama.
Okay. At the end of your turn, I'm going to pay 1 colorless and tap Swarm Shambler to put a 1/1 counter on it.
If you have something to deal with the Shard Dragon, or Void of the Shard Dragon, that Catan is scary.
I know.
I don't deal with creatures.
Maybe you should have dealt with extra planar lens instead of my ability to brainstorm one time.
I can still deal with it.
I was gonna say he can still deal with it.
I'm going to look at the top card of my library.
Yeah. The problem is Liquimetal Torque is a non-bow in this deck with the amount of artifact board wipes I have.
Vandal Blast, you say?
I will let you know up front. From what I recall, the only artifacts in this deck have Indestructible.
As they should.
Yes.
Plans will be my land for the turn.
Liquid Dark Steel.
Mycosynthellatus. Vandal Blast.
Fuck. We don't want to play anymore.
I'm going to
So far, I think you did a real good job with this deck.
remove a counter from Swarm Shambler. I'm going to pay 2 mana to cast Recommission from the top of my library. Return target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Ooh.
Bring back the Brainstorm.
See that? He slighted you.
Oh, fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Vengeances will be
I have
swift.
to piss in the wound a little bit. Schnell, 1 in the air.
Oh, look at this guy getting cocky over here.
Really?
Woo!
I know that I am not the one with the 7/7 Catan.
Yeah.
I will
Down to 39.
proliferate.
Anger's up to 40.
Your anger is inversely proportional to your life total.
Mine is, I'll tell you that. That's why I'm in a good mood right now. I'm so 38.
I'm gonna piss Nelson off and leave myself in the most vulnerable situation to his goddamn dragon. But the dragon gets everybody, so I'm hoping with my minimal board state, he doesn't take out too much vengeance on me.
Ozolith, bastard.
Jesus Christ.
Before the end of your turn, Chris, I am going to
Please get rid of the Ozolith.
free from flesh. Well, not this turn. Put 2 or target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn. Put 2 oil counters on it. So I'm going to click up my oil counters to 4, and I am going to remove 3 oil counters from Migloz, and I will go ahead. Yeah, I want to get rid of the Ozolith. Destroy target Ozolith or enchantment. Okay.
Alright.
Ozolith is good.
So I went up to 4 and down to 1.
Untap. Upkeep, draw. I'm gonna play the Black Gate as my land for the turn. I will not be paying 3 life. Fuck it, I'll pay 3 life. Whatever.
I will not be.
I'm gonna pay 3 life. I'm gonna move to combat. I am going to swing.
Have trample or anything?
Huh? Flying.
Flying.
Okay.
I'm gonna swing at Teach for 7 flying. When it attacks, each opponent sacrifices a non-land permanent.
Bye, Migloz. You were awesome.
I will sacrifice Boros Reckoner.
I'm going to sacrifice Brainstorm.
Mimic Vat trigger. I will exile Boros Reckoner with Mimic Vat. How many flying? 7?
7. Yep. You sacrifice an artifact?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield or is put into exile, put 2+1/+1 counters on it.
So
you
it
take
should have
9.
it should have 2 from the Ozolith as well.
Oh yeah, so you take 11.
Fuck hey.
So it's got 4 +1/+1 counters because that happens before damage is dealt.
Yes.
Yep.
So Teach takes 11.
I'm down to 28.
Shit.
I
Did we just lose to Shout of the Void
I guess I change. I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it now. I guess I'm gonna play Shelob.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a Necron. It is a Star God locked in a metal body, and it is a fraction of a Star God.
A shard, if you will.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna cast Shelob. I'm gonna do this. I wasn't gonna do this, otherwise I would have played, sequenced that differently. But Shelob's out now. I'm going to do nothing. So whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, it gets exiled. And for 2 and a black, I can put a creature card that she exiled into its owner's graveyard for 2+1/+1 counters, and I draw a card. Or I can pay X 1 and a black to put target creature card with mana value X exiled with her onto the battlefield tapped under my control.
Got it.
Go Chanel.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Land for the turn. Forest. Do I ramp? Or do I just pop more shit? Now's the time. Creeping Corrosion. Destroy all artifacts.
Man.
This helps Nelson as much as it hurts Nelson. Because this thing can then fucking one-shot.
Well, I have no artifacts.
So when artifacts die,
It gets 2+1/+1 counters for each artifact.
but they still just go to the graveyard.
Yes, artifacts go to the graveyard.
Alright, so you get
This is creatures only. Non-token creatures is what she cares about.
2 for me.
2 from you.
Yep.
Artifact count 2.
Forever.
I lose 1, so that's 3.
I didn't have any.
You didn't have any? Okay, so 3, so that's 6 more counters.
So 17.
4. So yeah, 17.
Go ahead, teach.
Thanks for that. Fuck. Land for turn, Phyrexian Tower.
Phyrexian card.
I need
Creature removal.
to do something.
I need a copy of Phyrexian Tower, the original art. I just have it from Ultimate
Is that what
Masters.
this is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that original art. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The Fallout decks that came out, I like that they've got the for Command Tower. It's the tower in New Vegas, which is cool. But I feel like at least one of them could have been 10-penny tower. Like, yeah.
I'm going to cast
Are they
Jessica's Will,
unique arts in each deck?
exiling the top 3
No,
cards
they're
of
all
the
the same.
library. I may play them this turn because I'm spinning wheels. Boros Signet,
I could use a wheel.
Clifftop Retreat,
Not
High
yet.
Market. Fuck. All right. I will play that Boros Signet, and my lands get exiled. Go, Chris.
I'll put a 1/1 counter on the Shambler.
Stack your deck with Soothsay. Tap out and guarantee what you can get.
Drop it, sir. Put the top card of my library. And it says only cast spells from the top. Okay.
So it's a land. I think we got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I don't want to do that either. 5. 3. Still can't do that. I don't like any of this. Four.
You okay over there?
No.
It's taking longer.
Just rummaging around.
The original Twisted Teas are at the bottom of the variety pack.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Case of the Locked Hothouse.
I like Case of the Locked Hot House.
I may play an additional land on each of my turns. I have to control 7 lands to solve it. I'm currently sitting at 5. And when it's solved, I may look at the top card of my library anytime, and I may play lands and cast creature and enchantment spells.
Be a
from
real
the
good
top of my
target for
library.
somebody who's looking at removing artifacts and enchantments on a regular basis.
This is like my Sphinx deck is usually really, really good unless somebody has a Silklash Spider. And at that point, they just go, all Sphinxes die every time I activate this ability.
Does
the
Shelob have
shard.
reach?
No.
No, Shelob does not have reach.
Nelson, one in the air.
Fat Spidey.
Yep.
Proliferate.
Yeah. Bitch is too fat.
Pass
She can't climb that
turn.
web fast enough. Alright. I will untap,
Those counters I know.
Oil
upkeep,
counters.
and draw for
Comes
turn.
in with 2, and then I can remove an oil counter from this to put an oil counter on target artifact.
I'm going to play a
or
swamp
creature I control
as
at
my land
sorcery
for the
speed.
turn. I'm going to pay 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play a Phyrexian Obliterato. 5/5 trample. Whenever a source deals damage to it, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. Your commander flies and he's got a shield counter on.
4 shield colors.
Like a little bitch. Alright, I'm going to move to Crambat.
its shields are quite oppositional.
That's good. Schnell, I'm going to swing at you for 17 in the air. When he attacks, each opponent sacrifices a non-land permanent, right?
Fuck. I
Non-land
just got
permanent.
this Signet.
I have no non-land.
So
permanents.
that's one. No creatures. Okay, so
No.
he gets 4 more counters.
How has nobody...
So 6 and then 2. So Schnell, you are going to take 14. You're taking 21.
How many more?
It was at 17.
I took 17.
It was at 17. Yeah, 4 more.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not taking 21 more.
No, 21 total. Pastor.
Yeah.
That's right. I know what happens. My story ends here.
How?
I don't know. Board wipe.
What have you done to attack me? Guess what? Piru's a token deck too.
That's the first time I've ever got.
Artifacts or enchantment.
21 tokens! I've never actually cast Shard of the Void Dragon before.
Yep.
It's
I'm just
pretty
gonna
cool.
pass because anything I cast will just get sacrificed when Nelson swings again.
Right.
So go ahead, teach. Yeah, I'm out of this deck. This is what I'm angry. I'm happy, but I'm
Hold
angry.
on. You get 2 life back and 2 counters go away.
What?
It's artifacts only. He sacrificed an enchantment. I wasn't paying enough attention.
Mother.
You get 2 life back.
Fucker.
I was looking at graveyards again. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's a fucking sweet Mercadian Mask OG foil right there, man.
Thank you, sir. It's a pretty clean one.
It is very
Yeah.
clean.
I'm just gonna play a land and pass.
Oh.
Oof. Getting ready
All
to
right.
settle that wreckage.
Counter. Go for the turn. Top card is not what I want. Hinterland Harbor will be my land for the turn.
You can hint this harbor.
Absurd way.
I don't know. I got fucking nothing, man.
No, you have a lot. You got an obliterator. You have a
You
massive
brought her land. You
shard.
hinterland.
Wait, I need to tap 2 green. 1, 2, 3,
You brother,
4.
you hinter. Land.
I'll cast Beast Whisperer.
You hinter that?
Oh, I did that in the wrong order. Hold on a second. I need to do it this way.
He doesn't have a Beast Whisper.
And that's why I wasn't worried about the 2 green at first. I'm an idiot. I'll pay 5 mana to adapt 3 here.
There you go.
Now it taps for 3 mana.
I don't have a run the train.
Now I'll cast the Beast
That's what that
Whisperer.
instant was called, right?
Incubation Druid, and then what was the guy who went and found himself when he adapted in that same block? The green guy.
I know what you're talking
That was
about.
a lot of fun. That
Yeah.
mono green deck back then. Oh god, I can't think of what it's called.
Like adaptive biomorph or something weird.
Yeah, adaptive
I don't
something.
know.
Yeah. Does he find all copies of himself? No, just one.
he grabs one, but then you just...
Yeah, just keep
Autoerotic
doing it.
generator.
Yeah.
God, this sucks. Sucks. Pass turn.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw for turn. Swamp. Move to combat.
Shock.
Swinging at Chris for 19 in the air and 5 on the ground.
Alright. I will block the flyer.
Attack trigger.
Yeah.
Each opponent sacrifices a non-land permanent.
Okay.
Done.
Grateful Apparition.
I have none.
I'll block. Lose a shield
Grateful
counter,
Apparition gets exiled with Shelob.
and I take 5 from the.
Obliterator.
Yeah.
Alright. What do you do again? When it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, proliferate. So I'm going to pay 4. So 2 and then 1 in a black. And it's tapped though, so that doesn't help me. I'll wait. It doesn't help me right now. I'm not a blocker. Go Snow.
Okay. Do I have anything before the end of your turn to be tricksy with? No. Untap, upkeep, draw.
Did you have the most life? Shit. I wasn't thinking. I should have activated the black gate and made this
Karn's
unblockable.
Bastion.
Oh well.
Allows me to proliferate. We're
Is
gonna...
that a reprint?
It is a Planeswalker Weekend promo.
Nice, that's cool.
Kadama's Reach. Search my library for up to 2 basics, reveal them, put one on the battlefield tapped and the other into my hand. We're gonna grab 2 forests.
Is it most life amongst opponents you control, or how is Blackgate worded?
Yeah, choose player with the most life or tied for the most life. Target creature can't be blocked by creatures that player controls this turn.
Thank God.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that was out there. Wheel.
and cut me.
Yep.
Pass to Tej.
Untap.
Whole lot of nothing.
Draw. Land for turn.
Did nobody bring any
I haven't,
creature removal
I
this game?
haven't-
What's going
I haven't
on?
found any yet.
Me
I've got
either.
some.
I do too. I can't find anything.
This deck was designed
Black.
to eliminate
Black.
artifacts and enchantments.
Piru's about to do some work,
White,
though.
White. Colorless. Colorless.
Piru can't do enough to shard right now.
I will summon Piru. The volatile. 7/7 flying lifelink. Beginning of upkeep, I sacrifice her unless I pay 1 red, 1 white, 1 black. And when Piru dies, she deals 7 damage to each non-legendary creature. Last turn.
Untap. Draw. Okay.
Chris, you have some sort of card advantage engine over there.
All right.
Get him.
7th land, so this is solved.
So proud of you. When does I've never solved a crime or whatever?
Yep.
A case. What do they do? How are they solved? When
This
are they
there
solved?
it's different for each one.
Yeah,
this
each
one
is-
solves when I control 7 or more lands.
Just as soon as
Yes.
you. Okay. I didn't know if there was like a just solving phase that they added to the fucking game now.
Nope.
Kind of like how chapter counters come on sagas.
Oh,
Yeah.
nope, it's
Those
wrong.
just- yep.
If
If-
unsolved, solve at the beginning of your end step.
Okay. That's
Hold
what I
on.
kind of figured, but I don't want to read your cards to you.
Wait, no, hold on a second. It's just solve. Okay, if unsolved, solve at.
It was unsolved at the beginning. When
Yeah.
when this triggers, it was
Yes.
unsolved. Then you played the land, so now it will solve at your end step.
So they all. Okay.
Yep.
So dumb.
I'm sorry
No, that's
Why
a
are you
valid. That's a
apologizing?
valid point.
because you solved it until I said you didn't.
You have the answer in your head. You just need to
We're
get
just
all your
working
friends together in
towards
one
it.
room so you can tell them the story.
Jacuz!
It was Colonel Mustard in the
It
billiard
was the
room
shard
with
of
the
the Void
rope.
Dragon with the 1/1 counters.
I take a 1/1
on the
counter off
battlefield.
of there
With this big, massive dragon dick.
to
Isn't that dragon? What is it?
It's a Catan.
A Catan?
Yeah.
guys.
Ah, let's settle on that bad
There
boy.
you go.
I'm going to cast a Boon of Safety, and I'm going to put a shield counter on Piru.
Some people
Hooray, thank
say
you.
Cetan. And I
Scry
don't know.
one.
They might be right.
Scry you to the bottom.
The shield counters. That's damage, right?
It's a destroy
It's
effect.
just
A destroy effect. Okay, got it. I didn't know if they got around exile too, or
I'm going to
I'm
remove
not running
Why-
white. I can't
why do
swords
you
anything.
ask?
counter here.
I was just curious.
Pay a white. I'm going to cast Hopeful Initiate. Triggering Beast Whisperer. I draw a card.
Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Teach still has to sacrifice it as soon as you swing.
That would be true. Yep. Good old edicts. Nothing stops those.
Damn it. Going to tap this for 3 white. Take a counter off of Incubation Druid. I'm going to cast Unbreakable Formation. Creatures I control gain indestructible in the end turn. If you cast the spell during your main phase, put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures, and they gain Vigilance until end of turn. 1/1 counter here. 1 here, 1 here. 1 here,
Vigilante.
and a 1/1. Ah, brick.
House.
Future Sight.
Now you can only look at the top card of your library 3 different ways.
Yeah, but now I can play lands from top of my library. Second land for the turn from Case of the Locked
You
House.
didn't solve it yet.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The
That's
very top
just
set.
that's
okay.
the static.
I thought that was the solve thing.
Nope.
Gotcha.
Again, play lands, creatures, enchantments. So it's basically future sight. when it's solved.
Yep.
I'm so curious at this thing now. Play an additional land on each of your turns. At the end of your turn, if you have 7, you solve it. When you solve it, future save.
Alright, pass turn.
And now it's solved.
Now it's solved. I'm so
Untap.
proud of you. I
Untap.
knew you'd make detective.
Upkeep
Sorry,
hand.
first time I cast a case.
Draw for turn.
First time you cracked a case.
All those cards, still no removal.
Yep.
I know you're in here. I just rebuilt you.
I'm going to pay 3, and I'm going to cast Playcrafter. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, and each player who cannot discards a card.
Discard a card, you say.
I will sacrifice Piru.
Piru technically is exiled, but it's your commander, so it doesn't matter.
I'm going to discard
Here you go.
Courage in Crisis. It's a sorcery.
Alright, I'm going to sacrifice the Playcrafter.
Alright. Piru is going to do 7 damage to each non-legendary creature.
Alright, so you have sacrificed 7 permanents.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You didn't know and read what Phyrexian Obliterator has.
whenever a source... Fuck! Oh boy! Okay. 7. 14, 21, 28. I gain 28 life.
Don't you gain more than that? Oh,
No.
those are legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are legendary.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
All right.
7. Fuck me.
We can just scoop now, right? Because that Piru,
I
like, nobody can do anything anymore.
I'm gonna keep my blood crits. And I'm gonna go up to 56 life.
Alright. So is that, you have 3 shield counters on there?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other guy?
A 1/1 counter.
So it's a 4/4.
Yes.
Flying trample
I'm the
with 3
threat.
shield counters.
I did flat spell.
Okay, hold on. Did any artifacts die?
not
No.
from me.
No. Okay, so no counters are on here.
He's just a 1919.
Okay. Who's right now a 1912 because he's got 7 damage on. No, he's non-legendary.
He is non-legendary.
So,
No,
so he's a
he's
1912. Okay.
We're still
I feel like inadvertently I made this the worst game for all of us, which I'm kind of okay with. Like,
I
what the deck-
think this is hilarious.
that's what the deck wanted to do. It's like, you fuckers keep doing all these enchantment and artifact bullshits that no one ever interacts with. So what if I remove 2 card types from the game? How does everyone's deck function? Those
I'm
2
going
card
to
types
pay.
down.
I'm going to pay 2 and tap the black gate. Oh no, that's Tej now. Never mind, that won't work. So I can't get that past Chris that way.
He's gunning for you, you son of a bitch.
I mean, if I Tej isn't. No offense, but Tej just tap blood crypt right now.
I'm not taken. I know who I am. I know what role I play.
All right, I'm gonna tap 3.
I think you get all these creatures when they die, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Sorry. Yes, they're all exiled. All right.
Man, that Nelson's a real piece of shit.
I'm gonna pay 3, and then I'm gonna pay 4 life, and I'm gonna cast Toxic Deluge. All creatures get -4/-4 until end of turn. Okay.
This game's cool.
There were 3 fucking shield counters on that thing, and I'm holding other ways of removal that I can't get around. I'm gonna move to combat, and
Would you like to hit for 19?
Yeah. Sorry, Chris. I'm gonna swing at Chris for 19, and I'm gonna swing at Tej for 3, Commander.
What did Tej do to anyone at this point?
You gained a boatload of life.
Barely.
He has 1 land, and how many cards in hand?
What? Why are we labeled? Nelson? Which one are you?
This guy right here.
Oh, I thought it had your name on it.
I did last time.
Yeah, it did last time. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was there again.
Yeah, but it's not there. When I
Yeah,
need it.
weird. Yeah.
Well, you need
Anyway,
it.
okay, I will pass turn to Chanel. Go ahead, Chanel.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Land, you say, you dumb motherfucker. Land for the turn will be forest. So, multiple permanents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't even cast 2 things. When I recast my commander, does he do anything?
Comes in with a will counters and then can do shit.
Vigilance and Menace, he doesn't get haste. And he just keeps other people from having artifacts or enchantments, or he gets bigger. Yeah, it's a real feel-bad situation. So, I think the only correct answer is to do a Freolise, Lanoir's Fury. I'm gonna click her up and make a Lanoir elf token. I now have 2 non-land permanents. They said we couldn't get there. We fucking got there. The ultimate recovery is afoot. Go ahead, teach.
I'm sorry, I thought you knew I had the Obliterator out, and then he cast Piru, and I was like, that'll get interesting.
As soon as you played Obliterator, I'm like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
But I thought he saw it coming.
It's real
Nope.
bad for Teach.
Nope. Out of sight, out of mind.
Draw Evolution Sage.
Never even
These are
clocked
still
it.
out, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay. I will cast. Can't even do that.
Freely's could have been my commander.
Can't even do it in. Unless the next thing is a land too. I better hit a runner on the lands here. Evolution Sage.
Chris, the turn that you had on
Exotic
Breakable
Orchard.
formation, you didn't swing, did you? With your
No.
indestructible
Mm-mm.
for no reason?
No real reason, no.
Because at that point, Nelson fucker guys were tapped down anyway.
Okay.
No, I'm just.
It would have been irrelevant to the current situation.
It would have knocked him down like 6, maybe more.
I guess I'll recast my commander.
Shield token.
Pass turn.
Alright. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Myriad Landscape.
He's ramping. God, that Void Dragon's so fucking good.
Darksteel Plate.
Don't.
What you gonna put it on?
Equip the Darksteel Plate. Move to combat.
It's okay, guys. I can deal with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna swing at
Teej, with his 53.
It,
I'm gonna swing at Schnell
Yeah.
with the Shard of the Void Dragon, and swing at Tej with.
swinging at me is a waste of time. I have 1 land.
Yeah, but he's got. Yeah, he could kill my commander. It's a 3/3, so. Actually, you know what? Well, hold on. No, I declared it. It's yeah. I was like, I could have a blocker, but no, I'm gonna do that. So
I have to sacrifice something.
everybody does.
I will sacrifice my
Each opponent sacrifices a non-land
Lanoir.
permanent.
Yeah.
Yep.
my Lanoir token.
I'm coming out on top.
All right, and then so no artifacts.
Yep.
So that's 19.
I'll go down to 1. You feel good about yourself?
No.
Good. Good.
Go.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw.
God, that fucking card is good. Didn't realize it when I put it in here.
Love watching Nelson play Magic.
I'm gonna click up the Freylise to create another. I'm gonna land for the turn forest. Molder Slug. 4/6 at the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player sacrifices an artifact.
You really fucking had a hard on for artifacts. Holy shit.
I don't know if I've made it abundantly fucking clear that every time you fuckers like combo out or do
Damn
shit,
it.
it's like, oh, I have 18 treasure tokens. I'm just gonna do extra shit with them. I'm gonna attack you with my clue tokens.
So dark side extortionist should
Hey, that's
come
a
out of
thing
the
I have.
Alesha deck.
Yes. No, you're fine. Pass to Teach.
Is the artifact in the room with us right now?
You don't know. You don't
I'll
know.
tell you where it's not.
You don't know. You don't know what it's like.
Teach is bored.
Hey, look, an artifact.
Also, it was
Yes.
a fun deck building exercise for me to build a deck and not rely
Rage
on,
deck?
and not rely on the same artifacts and enchantments that I also fucking like. I gotta get fucking. I need them.
I found that when I built that invasion deck.
I
I'm
need
like,
all
oh,
the mana rocks.
My upkeep's gonna be real
Phyrexian
shitty.
Lens is the best mana rock in the deck. 3 mana, taps 1 mana of any color, and it pings you.
Yeah. Did you sacrifice an artifact at the beginning of your upkeep?
I do not have one.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
Draw.
I'm the only jackass who's gonna be doing that.
But then again, I board wipe it when all my other stupid shit that I ran.
Right, I'm going to cast an enchantment from the top of my library with Case of the Locked Hothouse.
Speaking of Fraileys,
Yeah.
Put a 1/1
my
creatures tap for mana. Okay, got it.
It's the song for this.
First land for the turn is Yavimaya Coast. I will proliferate. 2 shield counters. I cannot.
How old is Tommy now?
1.5.
Okay.
You cannot cast
old enough to
artifacts
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
with Case
Please don't
of.
use my children's name on you. No, I'm kidding.
I use a pseudonym.
You
Shit,
confirmed it. That was me.
I'm going to go down to 1 shield token.
That was a joke. You don't have to add it.
I did.
And I'm going to cast a Soul Ring.
It's in my head now.
I hope you're happy. I am happy.
Does that give a thing? No, that's a different thing.
It is.
Does it make things something phase out?
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you target his thing?
I can.
You could.
That would be a thing.
Fucking dude.
Fucking dudes.
But it would phase back in at the beginning of his next turn, so I have to wait to do it on his turn.
Do it on his turn.
Yeah, but I have to get rid of my shield thing to do it.
Oh fuck! How about
Oh fuck.
if you do it, you live.
Yeah, I know.
If you do it, you don't have to sacrifice.
if you don't do it, you live.
Also, you could take a token off of this, or a counter off of this instead,
Oh
right?
yeah, that's right. I forgot that. That's
Yeah.
how those function.
So you're fine,
Yep.
and you're okay.
Let me take out Schnell, and then you can make
No.
it slip out the back.
Forgotten Ancient.
I mean that exactly how it sounded, friend.
yeah.
Man, I really wish I had
Teach
that
can
Beast
rebuild.
Whisperer.
Teach still has this game. He's at 50.
Yeah, he does.
If you folks learn nothing,
Correct.
nothing's over.
Nothing's over. Just give me one land, guys.
So I'm going to cast Scholar of New Horizons as well. Enters with a 1/1 counter on it. I can tap it and remove a counter from a permanent I control to search my library for a Plans card and reveal it if the opponent controls more lands than me. Teach, how many lands you got? I may put that card onto the
Say the
battlefield.
number out loud.
Okay, one. It's one.
Okay, so it lets me ramp, put a land in my hand. Pass turn.
All right.
Untap during the
I know.
upkeep.
I lose my artifact.
Sacrifice an artifact.
I know.
Shard of the Void Dragon gets bigger.
Gets 2 more counters,
Yeah.
and then he phases out and loses all his counters.
Only when Chris actually
That's
casts
not how
it.
phasing works.
Oh no, he keeps his
keeps
counters.
his
doesn't he?
counters.
Yeah.
Plus, he'll get a counter.
Yep.
So this is really good for you.
All right. Oh, then I draw. Swamp will be my land for the Teehee turn.
Counter on Forgotten Ancient from casting Scholar of New Horizons. Teach, I want you to cast some spells on your turn. Okay. Thanks, bud.
I'm gonna pay 3,
Oh shit.
and I'm gonna cast Swarm Shambler. So when it enters the battlefield, with a +1/+1 counter on it, And whenever a creature I control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, I get a 1/1 green insect creature token.
You want to do his phase out thing in response so he doesn't get an insect when you do the thing?
Yeah, probably. I will take a 1/1 counter off of the Forgotten Ancient. And I will pay a blue. I will cast Slip Out the Back.
Okay, so it gets +1/+1
+1 counter, and it phases out.
Okay, I'm just gonna move over here. Is that till my end step or till the beginning of my next turn? I don't remember how
during your
phasing
next
works.
Next upkeep, I believe.
My next
Yes.
upkeep, he comes back in.
Phases back in.
Okay.
And I will draw sorcery speed removal for it. While it's gone.
Get that counter back. It was a good pull.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, Vega.
He attacks Chun-Li in the shower in the animated Street Fighter movie.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
Well, when she gets out of the shower, she's in her robe.
Oh.
I'm going to pay 4, and I'm going to cast Damnation. Destroy all creatures; they cannot be regenerated.
Hey, baby. Want to destroy all creatures?
It's real dumb.
Well, it'll
So,
be exiled.
yeah,
with
but then
Shelob,
it just gets
and
exiled, yeah. So any creatures you have are exiled that die here.
None
Well,
of
I don't
those-
get to keep them.
None of
but,
those are mine, right? Because we have similar.
No, these are all Chris's. So they're all they're in your exile. Shelob doesn't get them anymore because she dies too, but she sees him die. Oh, and then this is also in your exile pile as well. Exile pile. Do. All right, that's it for me. Go Schnell.
Okay, now that we're all back in the game for one more round. Untap, upkeep, draw. Grove of the Burn Willows.
1.
3, 4, 5. Yeah.
I forgot Grove of the Burn Willows.
I just played it.
No, I mean that's a
That it
land
exists.
cycle I would like to see.
Oh, yeah. No cycles are complete. Fuck you. Idiot. Do I have anything in my graveyard that can help? No. So, he's got 5 on him.
I got 5 on it.
I will click up Fraley's to create another Deuter. This bottle cap will be a 1/1 elf. And I will pass to Tej.
Pass.
I guess I obliterated the shit out of him.
No, you didn't. I did it. It was me.
Pissed on the electric fence after reading the sign.
Don't you feel bad about this? This wasn't on you.
I will tap this. No, I will tap the forest. And the Sky Shroud Expanse and a Plains. I will cast Vega.
The Watcher.
Anytime may play lands, creatures, and enchantments. Tap Hallowed Fountain for a white. And I will cast Esper Sentinel. Triggers Vega the Watcher. I draw a card.
Ooh, that's a good engine.
Mm-hmm.
You players with
Oh,
white.
this is up to 2, by the way.
Nice. So your stuff still taps for mana.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep.
Still.
Well, I never took the counter off of it. I can't use counters from this to... It has to be creatures off of... Counters off of creatures.
Okay.
Sorry. I will tap the Soul Ring to cast Arcane Signet. Draw. Fuck.
Seems good.
Yeah.
Land for the turn. Minas Tirith.
Seems good.
What
Second.
does Minister do?
Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. You can only control a couple.
Okay.
Taps to add for a white, or for a white, And colorless, I can tap it to draw a card. Activate only if you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn.
Neat. Ah, continue.
Forest, second land for the turn. The thing's black,
Yes.
right? Okay.
What?
The shard of the Void Dragon.
Oh,
Yep.
When it comes back,
sure.
it'll be back in black.
Back in black.
Oh,
God, fucking poison.
ooh, he's tapping things.
Whole lot of things.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Stone Coil Serpent for
There
9.
you go. Oh, it's got reach. Pro multicolor.
Yeah.
I like that card. Throne of Eldraine.
Okay. Pass turn. Oop. Making a mess of things.
Excuse me. Alright, untap. Upon my upkeep, phases back in. Draw for turn.
What was that shifty eye maneuver you just rolled?
Just doing a think.
Fucking poker face.
Just doing a think.
Well, he's casting the one thing he drew, and it's the only thing that's in.
Cruelty of Gix. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card.
Stay away.
Let's see. So this is on.
Where did my phone?
This is on.
Just I was gonna check the order text of a card.
I don't know. What? So okay, when you face back in, do you have summoning sickness?
No.
No.
Okay. All right.
Nah, whatever. Okay.
Who do I want to see?
Should be the same.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I have 1 card.
I have
Yeah.
3, but what does it get rid of?
Creature or planeswalker.
Oh yeah, fuck. You can do what you want.
Yeah.
Did you... I draw a card unless you pay X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power, so unless you pay 1, I'll draw a card.
Sure, I'll pay one. I'll pay your tax. Chanel, I'd like to see your hand, please. Okay.
Alright.
All right. Truck.
As you see, I am no threat.
Yeah, but I can't get to Chris yet.
Not with that attitude. Hit him
I'm going to move to combat and swing at Chanel.
That's me. I'm out.
So each opponent sacrifices a each opponent sacrifices a non-land permanent
When it attacks? Or
when it attacks.
Okay.
Yep. I got nothing. Oh, this deck was fun.
That deck is neat.
Yeah. Alright, Chris, do you have anything to stop it
I'm
from
sure.
killing me?
I do not.
Before I start rifling through my deck.
What to sacrifice? I'm going to sacrifice the Esper Sentinel. He'll get 2 more counters.
All right.
Take 2 more damage.
All right, so he's got 17 counters. So he's at 24, 24. Go teach.
I can't believe nobody has come across anything to deal with that fucker this game.
I
That
was
is ridiculous.
shocked.
Damn. Pass.
Thanks, Teach.
Yeah, that would do it. That
that would do it too.
yeah.
Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. That would have done it.
Draw for the turn.
There's a fog. That would have done it.
Okay. This goes up to 3. Goes away. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
So with read ahead, you can play sagas at any number, at any part you want them to.
Yes.
You just don't get anything.
You don't get
would
the
skip.
chapters you skip. Yep.
That's really interesting.
My creatures have vigilance, trample, and indestructible until end of turn.
Oh, from the final
Yep.
chapter of your
Oh, this
Song.
is up to 10 counters. Forgot about that guy over there.
thing's gonna kill me.
Tej.
Yeah.
Casting from somewhere other than my library, so I draw from Vega.
Okay.
Chapter 1. You and target opponent each draw 2 cards.
Hooray! Thanks, buddy.
You sure you?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, now we're cooking. We have to start discarding because of the overabundance I have. Just the blessings.
So I have a decent number of fight abilities and some direct damage. The only card that I could have drawn I only have one card that could have just outright killed him.
That
Or
time
killed-
shifted Atali is awesome.
Yeah, so I only had one legit answer in this deck, and I was not getting to it. I also didn't see any of my fucking toxic.
What did
stuff.
you have in there? What could have gotten him?
Oh, the thing that's just destroy a
Right.
flyer.
Oh,
Pop
First
a flyer.
land
Plummet
for
or
the
whatever?
turn is going to be Temple
It's-
of Mastery. Scry 1.
Not plummet, but it's
Put you on
the
bottom.
same thing.
Top card of my library is...
Survey says.
Bop. Draw card.
carnivorous canopy.
Oh, nice.
Fog would above you turn. Fog needs more play. Chain reaction. There weren't ever enough creatures.
I like that card a lot. But yeah, this would have been an awkward.
What's
spot
chapter
for it.
2 on the...
I search my library for a card and put it in my hand, and then lose 3.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to cast Nature's Claim. You gain 4 life.
Enchantment removal. That's low.
Don't like any of this. This will be my second land for the turn. Shit. I will move to combat. $10, 14. Nelson, I'll hit you for 17.
And you cast something that gave you vigilance, right?
Yes.
What was it
Well,
again?
it was the
Oh, the
third
Song of
chapter
Freyalise,
on
that's
Song of
right, okay.
Freyalise.
You said 17?
Yes.
Alright, down to 19. I don't know if I can do this anymore. That Song of Freyalise hurt.
You have 3 non-basics over there.
Non-basics?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, 3.
Take 7 damage for each non-basic land.
4, 5, 6.
I just got irrationally angry that Tej is still in the game and I'm out.
3, 5, 6.
Fucking 1 land,
7.
50 life, sitting there like a champ. Not saying shit, not drawing attention.
I'm going
I'm probably also going. You don't
to
know.
cast Myriad Construct Kicked. Enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each non-basic lands your opponents control. So
Okay,
it's 4.
in response, it's not. I'm going to crack my myriad. I'm going to crack my myriad landscape.
Okay.
I will search my library
So it
for 2
gets
basic
3.
land cards that share
It
a
was the
type-
most hateful fucking way you could have said
Yep.
that.
Sorry, had to.
Well, it's not.
When it becomes a target of a spell,
I think that's better than any
sack it, and I create a number of 1/1
You don't get any
constructs
other
equal to its power.
That was overly aggressive, and I apologize.
In response, it's not. Gets 1 less counter. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you for playing it. Fuck you, Dad, for bringing it.
Okay, pass turn.
Fuck you. All right. Fucking see what happens.
Not in this game. Am I allowed to touch cards?
You're a neutral party.
I am not.
All right, I'm gonna untap. Upon my upkeep, I will drop. Oh, fuck.
Hold that in
Shit.
hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, hold on. Here's there. How many swamps do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do this. So, save me some lands. So 1.
So good.
1, 2, 3.
I love this card. Scythe Claw Raptor.
2, 3,
Yep.
4.
Whenever a
5,
player
6,
casts a spell, if it's not their turn, he does 4 damage to him.
I have that in Torwalkie because he's at an odd mana value.
And also, when you made the comment about shunting something, I thought you were looking at my hand.
Nope, just really like that card.
All right, Shelob's back.
I like those apples.
So you can block with your big boy. Or your commander doesn't have a
shield counter? No, it's a 1/1 counter.
Okay. So how much power do you have on board untapped that can block flyers right now?
10, 14, 15, 17
17 power.
Yep.
How many untapped lands do you have?
3.
I mean, I gotta try. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
I just gotta. All right, I'm gonna move to combat. I'm gonna swing at Chris for 12, 17, 24. On attack, you each sacrifice a non-land permanent.
Sure.
Oh,
Love
he knew
Song
that
of
way
Night
too
and Day.
fast.
Wow, he knew it was coming.
True. All right.
You attacked me.
Yes, sir. 24.
All right. I'm going to pay 3 mana. I'm going
Yeah.
to cast Inspiring Call. Draw a card for each creature I control with a 1/1 counter on it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. So I'll draw 4. That was upside down. I didn't care for that none.
So before I cracked the Myriad Landscape, I had a Skeletal Grimace on top of my library, which would allow me to regenerate, but it really wouldn't do much for me. So
But
losing
I'll just
that Cruelty of Gix, I think, lost me the game.
I'll block with the Stonecoil Serpent, which is indestructible.
You sure you don't want to block with more than one, just in case?
I'm sure.
There might be tricks.
There might be.
There might be tricks.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, go Tej.
Oh, yeah. Still here, friends. Mountain. Pass. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I got a discard. Let's discard Reforge the Soul.
Let's keep my artifacts separate.
Didn't draw as a miracle.
Nope.
What is... Oh, my God. Decks are all mixed up. I hate it.
You just put it in that order. I saw you.
They're all
Yeah.
catty. Draw for the turn.
Kitty Wumpus.
Look at the top card. What is going on with this deck? All right.
Nelson's been turning every third card when you weren't looking.
Fuck him. I knew he was going to beat me.
Prairie
Fuck
will
him.
be my land for the turn. Pay 3 mana. Go cast Crystalline Giant. Draw a card from Vega. Ooh. Here we go. 2 mana. Cast Scroll.
Do you win?
No. We'll see.
Then it's not worthy.
No, I mean,
I'm
I can dig a bunch of cards deeper with Skull
I'm
Wrap.
giving you shit.
I'll cast Heliod Suncrowned.
Cast Walking Ballista.
No,
Win
no,
game.
No. Took Walking Ballista out of this deck. Did it once, felt bad, took it out. Does Shelob have Death Touch or anything?
Shelob has nothing. No Menace, no Death Touch, no Reach. Nada.
Right. Second land for the turn is going to be Fabled Passage. Then I will 5. Going to pay 2 mana. Going to cast the Aspirin
That's
from the
good.
top of my
Not bad.
library.
I like it in that
Draw a
name.
card.
It's the only card in here that I can accidentally hit with my random warlords. But it's so good
It's so good.
that I'd be willing to maybe I won't just Tranquility this round.
I'm going
Some
to
old school magic right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I love it.
1 mana. Activate
It's a
Skull
perfect
Rack.
deck for it, though.
Exile any number of cards from my hand face down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that many cards from the top of your library into your hand.
Let's say we got some white borders in here.
Hell yeah.
5, 6. And then put those back on top of my library.
I remember running Tranquility and Stream of Life in the same deck back in the day, and Fog.
What am I doing with those?
I've just moved them out of my way.
Oh,
Then I'm
okay.
going to crack Fabled Passage to go search for a basic.
You're not a factor, so he's using a playmat for
No, that's
storage.
fine. I was just curious.
Someone's got to use it, Teach.
I'm
Someone's got to
saying,
use it.
Beautiful revised Bob. Shatter it.
I was gonna say, I found that randomly looking for Tranquility. I'm like, I did Bob for this because I have no mana rocks. So
An island in here? There's an island. Alright, I grabbed an island with Fabled Passage and shuffled away the cards I used Scroll Rack to put on top of my deck. 19. Then I will...
Can I cut to my own fate?
no, don't touch it.
Go for it.
I mean, he shuffled his decks.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the one right there, bud.
Alright, pay 3 mana. I will generous gift your commander.
Okay.
I will move to combat.
Where's my elephant? It's right here.
Elephant.
3/3 elephant. With a bullet. Silver bullet.
Wouldn't be proud.
2, 3. Then I will cast Kodama of the West Tree.
1,000 points of light.
Modified creatures I control have trample. Then I will move to combat. You can block 3.
Fuck yeah, I can. You better come at me with that 22.
17. I'll just attack with these 4.
Okay.
So what's the total?
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Oh, you bastard. Yeah, I got another. You got it.
Okay.
Shard of the Void
And
Dragon
now Teej
sucks.
makes the ultimate fucking comeback.
Yep, here it comes.
I don't think that one's tapped. Alright, Teach. Use up.
What could I have gotten?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pass.
One tap. Draw. I sent that card away for a reason.
Just turn your creatures sideways
Sequence.
once. Did that? When does that get a rando?
Beginning of combat.
Okay. So it should have gotten
So
one.
it should have.
Yeah, it should have something. Top card is another thing I got rid of. I will move to combat.
Yep.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am not there.
Wow.
Cathar's Crusade. Now I am.
There it is.
Okay. So, what does your Crystalline Giant get at the beginning of combat?
Let's find out. Son of a bitch, I'm bad at this.
It's a tube. It rolls easily.
Plus
Plus
one,
one,
plus
plus
one.
one.
Cool.
And then from last combat, do you want to rep
Sure.
on?
Hexproof.
Neat. I should find the file and print some more of those.
They are cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Move to combat.
One of the few things that I legit
17,
3D designed and then
18,
printed
19,
myself.
24, 26, 27, 32, 36,
14 more.
37, 38, 1 coming around here at the beginning of combat. 38.
Yep. Dang it.
Faster.
You got it.
Alright.
This was the first time running out Falco Spara after significant tweaks, and this deck, once it got its feet under it and enough mana to cast things, it really, really hummed. There's a little too much overlap and a little too much redundancy, I think, so I'll have to address that. There's clearly not enough removal. If you have watched this game, you saw how much Nelson's Catan was beating us all about our collective heads and or faces for that whole game. That thing literally ruled the board in a way that Schnell's new deck is probably jealous of. I think his thing killed more artifacts this game than Schnell's new deck did. It was insane. And nobody drew a way to deal with it until the last turn of the game. That thing was an absolute beast. Every creature that Nelson played tonight was an absolute house. They were threats to be killed on sight, and we did a terrible collective job of doing that. I lived in fear of that deck for the entirety of the game. Schnell's deck was very angry and made me very angry early in the game. He did it. He did what he meant to do. He spread out the anger a little bit, and hopefully that was cathartic for him. Tej was doing the classic Tej, I'm not a threat, I'm not a threat, and then he forgot about the Phyrexian Obliterator, I believe that it was that one? Yeah. The Negator's the poopy one. The Phyrexian Obliterator, and then he went from, oops, I'm not a threat, to shit, I am not a threat. But it did turn out that he had a little silver lining at the end that I'll let him tell you about. This game, I felt there were some phases to it. Schnell came out very, very fast, and I was worried that his commander was going to be a bigger problem than it turned out to be. Having to sacrifice non-land permanents to Nelson's board each turn really kept everybody in check until Falco really got rolling and was able to play multiple permanents to the board each turn. It's the only way I was able to start keeping pace. But then from that phase, Nelson was clearly in control for most of the game. But this new tweaked deck, the idea that I had for card velocity and picking, the cards to fit the situation, it actually came to fruition. I was happy to see that. But I do need to tweak it a little bit again. Like I said, the redundancy to make sure I always have the top of my library available was there, but I had too much of it at the end and not enough to help with other players' boards. Once I get that addressed, I think I'll bring this deck back out. I really, really enjoy this deck. I like it quite a bit.
So I brought back Shelob tonight because the last time I played her was in a totem game and it was a little bit weird. Also, it's just more fun when you've got a whole other player to get creatures from. The deck did what it was supposed to do for the most part, but it was a little bit weird because Shard of the Void Dragon kept the board very, very clean, except for the Damnation that I cast when Chris started going wide again. There wasn't any mass targets really for Shelob to grab, so I didn't really, exile a bunch of stuff with her, reanimate anything. I was a little surprised early game when I played. I was going back and forth, like, do I want to just sit on the extra planar lens and then play the Grave Pact first, thinking that Schnell would target that over the extra planar lens, and then maybe I keep the extra planar lens for a little bit. Sequenced him the other way, still ended up able to hang on to the extra planar lens, which got me the Shard of the Void Dragon, I believe on turn 4. So I had 3 swamps and the Cabal Stronghold out, so I could tap for 7 mana on turn 4. Got that out, and I don't know how it happened, but nobody had an answer for it literally the entire game after it hit the board. So I got very lucky there. It's like a Voltron player's dream, but unfortunately I wasn't able to support it with other things, and it's very, very difficult to play against Chris's deck with all of the shield counters and things like that on his commander, which also has flying. So, there's that level of evasion that gets taken away from my commander because he can meet it and then it just stays alive because he's just getting rid of shield counters. I didn't know at the time if running the Toxic Deluge out was the right idea, but I think it was. If given the opportunity again, I would have played it at the exact same spot. Even though it hit one target, it still let me get in for another crack. The Cruelty of Gix, I thought, well, I can look at people's hands. I figured Chris probably didn't have a creature or a planeswalker in his hand that was going to hurt me. I wasn't sure if it was something that could happen on the attack, but I knew it was going to take me multiple turns to try to take him out, and I didn't know what Schnell might be able to do, and he was within reach of a hit that time. So I looked at his hand to make sure it was a safe attack. It was. I knew the other players were going to have to potentially sacrifice something, so it was the right play at the time to take him out there and then try to hurt. I mean, no offense, but not really Tej at that point because I think he still had like one blood crypt out. But it made Chris sacrifice another permanent and then see what I could do from there. The cruelty of Gix, really, I was holding out hope to be able to grab a card with its second chapter activation. Maybe in retrospect, I should have just cast it and went and tutored for something. But again, it gave me the confidence to knock a player out. I'm not entirely sure what I would have grabbed in the moment. Sheldred Whispering One would have been nice because it was another way to force my opponents to sacrifice creatures on their upkeep, and then on my upkeep, I got to bring something back from the graveyard. So if I could have gotten more things on board, it would have helped me survive a little bit longer with all the shenanigans Chris was doing. But all the ways he has to give his creatures vigilance and indestructible, trample, and buff them in that deck, it's innumerable. So I knew the longer I stayed alive, and the Shard of the Void Dragon being the only thing out there, the more difficult it was going to get for me unless I started drawing into the nuts, and I just couldn't find it. The other card I wanted to discuss is Phyrexian Obliterator. I think Tej forgot it was on board or hadn't realized it was on board when he cast his Piru. I don't want to say into it because he didn't necessarily cast it into it, but it was on the board. And I had the Plague Crafter, so I knew that unless Tej was going to sacrifice it or something for a reason, even if it was indestructible, I had a way to get it off the board, which would help me wipe off a whole bunch of other people's creatures because I knew it couldn't kill the Void Dragon, and it wasn't going to touch Shelob. So color me shocked that he then sacrificed it and had to blow up 7 permanents because he dealt it 7 damage. So Phyrexian Obliterator is an interesting card. I don't see it played a ton. It's a card that I like a lot in the right shell. I think this is the right shell for it because it's a way to get rid of a whole shitload of permanents, and it just worked out in my favor to put Tej that far behind. It was an interesting game. Schnell's deck is scary tonight and for the future because it's very anti-me. I like enchantments. I like artifacts. I may very well be the player in this pod who plays the most enchantments, or at least the most annoying enchantments, and plays the shitty annoying enchantments in multiple decks. I like my black enchantments that cause pain to my opponents, and Schnell built the perfect deck to just say, fuck you, and blow it all up. So I like that deck a lot. Looking forward to seeing it again. Hopefully it's on a night when I bring an enchantment and artifact light deck, but we'll see. Very, very smart build. I like the commander he decided to use for it. Falco we've seen before. Obviously it demonstrated again and again what it could do tonight. And then, Piru is a deck that is difficult to stop once it gets going. I think Chris even made the comment, I'm not too sure what we're going to be able to do once Tej starts gaining all that fucking lifelink from it. However, luckily the time it died and blew up everything was a time that Tej then had to sacrifice 7 lands after. So we did kind of, in effect, get him shut out of the game at that point. Or rather, he did. He did that to himself, and I'm not sorry for it. But yeah, so that was probably the coolest Phyrexian Obliterator I've ever had go off. So loved the game, loved the deck. I like this Shelob deck a lot. It's so fun. It's mono black. It does cool shit. It's what I really like to do, and I look forward to playing her again soon.
Phyrexia! Obliterate!
Thank you, Nels. That was my own dumb fault. I saw him play it. In the back of my brain, I knew it was there. Just didn't give a shit. I needed to get stuff out onto the board. And not that I didn't give a shit, I don't care that it's there. I'm just going to make the play. Not give a shit, out of sight, out of mind. I'm going to get this thing out because it's a creature. And it's going to gain me some life. And here we go. And then Nelson's like, you're going to sacrifice 7 permanents. And I was like, oh, fuck me. There went my lands. I had nothing. I had nothing but a blood crypt. But I don't know if this part made it at the end of the episode, but I did have a smidgen of hope there at the end. I was sitting at 53 or 56 life or something like that. 1 land, and I had in hand an Ether Flux Reservoir. And my hope was people would just leave me alone because I had 1 land, and then I could get out 2 3 and 4 lands and let everyone take each other out till it was just one person left and be like, on my turn, Aetherflux Reservoir for the win. Didn't happen, but it would have been so funny if it did. I feel like it would have pissed off whoever that last person was, but I think it would have been worth it for the video. But luckily, that didn't happen. Even though I kind of took myself out of the game, I think this was a very fun game. Schnell's deck is very scary. It made me rethink some things at the top of the game, like the Mimic Vat. I didn't want to put it out unless I needed to, unless I had nothing else left to do. Same with the Aetherflux Reservoir. Obviously, that's going to be a target for everybody as soon as I put it out, but that's just why I was sitting on it. And I really didn't do much. This game reminded me of the early days of Piru when I built the deck and I just kind of wasn't vibing with it. And the final game, like I decided I'm going to play Piru one more time. And if it doesn't do it for me, I think I'm going to take it apart and use the parts for other decks. And that final game was just a blast, and it made me fall in love with the deck. And every game since then has just been really, really fun. This was reminiscent of the early days where I wasn't doing anything, and it wasn't fun. But I am of the mindset where I really, really like this deck, and I know it's going to happen sometimes, so I don't mind the occasional bad game here or there. And then, just out of curiosity, I looked through my records. Piru has only won once out of the 7 games I've played with it. Only one time. So, very scary. I get that. Not my strongest deck, but I understand the fear. Once again, it's one of those decks, if I'm left untouched, it just potentially is going to run away with the game. So, it is still very fun for me to play, though. And Piru got a lot of updates over the past couple of weeks, just small changes here or there, but I did pull 2 cards from Karloff Manor. One of them is Barb Servitor, which is just another card in the category of when it gets dealt damage, that damage is going to be dealt elsewhere. So I found that I hit the point where there are not too many, but there are enough effects in here where I actually cut Stuffy Doll for this card. And that was a tough decision, but Stuffy Doll only affects one person, whereas the Barb Servitor will affect everybody. So I'm at that point where now I'm going to find, if more of these cards come out, I'm going to find the optimal ones and start taking out the ones that just aren't as good as new ones being printed. Which is always a fun spot to get to for me in deck building, where I don't need, at this point, every single effect that does this. At this point, I'm just looking for the best of the best. And that's why Barb Servitor was in, and Stuffy Doll just came out. I like Stuffy Doll, but I think Barb Servitor is better because it affects everybody. And the other one that I popped in here was Trouble in Pairs, a card that just keeps climbing in price. According to me, it's an enchantment, which Schnell hates. For 4 mana, 2 and 2 whites. If an opponent would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. I don't care about that so much. It's more, whenever an opponent attacks me with 2 or more creatures, draws their second card each turn, or casts their second spell each turn, I draw a card. This is just it seems like a very good draw engine for a white card, and I can just set it and forget it. Wait for someone to draw their second card, wait for someone to cast their second spell, and then I just benefit off that. Don't need to plump any more mana into it. I'm just incidental card draw, which I'm a big fan of. So I did pick up a couple copies of Trouble in Pairs, one for Piru, one I think for AO the Dawn Sky, but I don't remember. This is a fun game, very poor showing for Piru, but like I said, Piru has wormed her way into my heart, and I'm going to keep Piru around for it as long as possible.
Migloz Migloz Maze Crusher. As I said at the beginning of this one, I built this deck out of hate. My friends and opponents often bring just a ton of interactive enchantment and artifact-based combo stuff that no one ever has enough answers to deal with, or they burn their responses and answers early game and then somebody builds back and they just go off with like, oh, these 6 enchantments allow me to do this, and this one turns into this, and then I win. Migloz says no. Migloz says no aggressively. What he does not have anything to do with, apparently, is giant flyers that make me sacrifice non-land permanents. So that Catan of the Void Dragon, massive. I had a choice early to either pop the Grave Pact, was it Grave Pact? Yeah. Grave Pact, or the Extraplanar Lens, and I thought that the Grave Pact was the slightly better choice at that point. Had I popped the Extraplanar Lens, I don't know if I would have stopped him from getting it out when he did, but regardless, none of us had any answers for it basically the whole game. I went through my deck after. As things stood right now, there were 2 cards in my deck that could have dealt with it. One permanently, one just putting it back into his hand, resetting it as a 7/7, and then it's a little bit more manageable for some of my other direct damage and or removal things, because I like to fight with the red-green, because that's also just a good way. I don't like the dealing with flyers directly spells that green has, but honestly, enough of them now are modal that if I deal with non-flyers, I can still use them for other stuff. So I've got 3 card slots right now that I'm going to be swapping out for better things. Falco Spara, always a good showing from that deck. I am very excited to see it. I love that it uses non-standardized counters in a way that I really, really like. Between shield counters, between +1/+1 counters, between story counters, page counters, lore counters, yeah, whatever. Lots of different counters, but everything gets something. And I like that it's not just a singular thing. And it also doesn't rely on anything other than proliferate for the most part. Not a lot of the other token or counter doublers, which is nice to see. Yeah, Piru did nothing. Wasn't there long enough other than to just wipe Tej out through a bad choice. I felt really bad, but honestly, Tej usually wins by making smart choices, so him playing like the rest of us is just fucking beautiful. Beautiful. I am excited to see what Migloz can do on the next go around. I'm gonna try and cycle this one back a little bit earlier than I do with most of my decks, because right now I'm trying to play one at a time through all of them, and I'm actually documenting it this time. I have like 70 or 80 or maybe 100 EDH decks at this point. So I'm going to do my best to bring Migloz back after a couple of tweaks, maybe 2 or 3 games from now. But like and subscribe to keep an eye out for that, and thank you so much for watching.